You all know, I think there are 6 countries within the Eastern Partnership. Yes, Moldavia and Georgia were the 2 which initialed the AA-DCFTA texts in Vilnius. But Ukraine, as you know, had already some time earlier initialed the text but did not sign in Vilnius. So we don't know what will be the way ahead. Maybe they will sign in future the text. The European Union has said that the process is still open, so we'll see the outcome, and we are waiting. So this is Ukraine, but there are others as well, and let's look at Belarus. They are a little bit in one respect like Armenia, because they are already member in the customs union with Russia and Kazakhstan. And we remember that the president of Armenia said on the 3rd of September, okay, Armenia is ready and willing to share the customs union. So in that respect, they are in the same train, so to speak. But Belarus is, I think, far off of any texts to sign. So again, a differentiation between the 2 countries. And then there's Azerbaijan. They want to have a special strategic partnership with the European Union. So them as well, they are far off having any text to sign. And we don't even know whether they would have AA-DCFTA or just something concerning a strategic partnership. So if I would wrap up this, then I would say there are different countries out there with different status, and I couldn't see that there are different classes, first class and then a second class, but it's all as well about this process, and initialing is just the beginning. Next step would be signing, and all that. The process is the essential thing, and even Armenia, not having signed anything, is in the process. It's still a member of the Eastern Partnership. So I would refrain from saying a 2-tier partnership, but it's a partnership with different partners in there, and everybody trying to do the best they can do for the time being. Maybe at a second point, I would say something. What would be helpful to introduce you the philosophy of the EU concerning its Eastern Partnership, because then you might find out what could be a push-up in the process. So before understanding that, we should know what is the philosophy behind that Eastern Partnership. The European Union, with its Eastern Partnership, wants to reach out to these countries, these 6 countries which were identified, located within Europe or near to the borders of the European Union, and to reach out for a close partnership so that they feel accommodated. But, and this is essential, without putting the question of the EU membership on the agenda. This is at least the issue, and this is at least for some time excluded. Maybe in future there will be another philosophy, but for the time being and for the idea of the Eastern Partnership, it is a feeling accommodated, feeling welcome, coming near, but not with the possibility of a membership. To reach out, that means to encourage these partners to develop more democratic structures and to fulfill economic reforms, meaning giving them the chance to get closer to modern standards in democracy and economy. The instruments which the European Union has developed for this Eastern Partnership is, as mentioned already, the AA-DCFTA, which is one model of an agreement which you cannot divide in AA and DCFTA, but it's one thing. It's an AA with part of it as a DCFTA. And this political part is an important part, because there are the principles to which the partners would adhere. You all would know them. Among others, there are promotion of the rule of law and human rights, improvement of democratic institutions and judiciary, good governance, fight against corruption, strengthening of the civil society. These principles are laid down in the AA, and this is why it is a special paper and of a important paper. And then the DCFTA is more of an economic part. The political part, with all these principles, would be, after signing, the reference for the civil society in the respective countries. So it is the core, the heart of the matter. Another instrument besides the AA-DCFTA would be financial aid. During the process of coming near to the European Union, there are different possibilities of financial aid, support as well by manpower, with advisors, but as well with the cash flow. So this is an important instrument, but I have the feeling the AA-DCFTA with all the principles in there is the more important one. Another instrument would be mobility. The EU wants to bring these partners and their populations mentally nearer to the EU and its values, even, as I said, even if a full membership would be not possible. Therefore, we agreed on visa action plans to work on. And the first phase of these visa action plans are introduce biometric passports, which Armenia has already done. Agree on visa facilitation and readmission, which Armenia as well did already. And these readmission and facilitation agreements will come into force beginning of next year. So first phase, these things. And second phase will be then to work on a visa freedom agreement. So you see it's step by step, and second step would be really something which is of an importance for people working together in that Eastern Partnership. These are the instruments. And now I would like to come to that point, how to push up the process. What are my tips? Well, if I'm right, there are two tracks to watch. The one is the process of Armenia as a partner to the Eastern Partnership, and the process has to come to any form of an agreement with the EU. We have not yet initialed the AA, but in any form there must be a legal form between EU and Armenia. There should be a legal form which will have a substance, the reforms which Armenia wants to go on and which are already in the AA incorporated so far, and they will have to be re-administered, reread it, redone in a way, and these which can be taken and will be taken should be incorporated in that legal instrument. For me, it's out of question that some kind of this paper will be there in some time, because the President as well as others of Armenia, mentioned that the political will is there, and time and again they mentioned that, and we have seen the joint statement which Armenia and the EU were giving out at the Vilnius summit. So the process has to go on and will go on, and the most important thing is that Armenia showed commitment to that. The second track is concerning the process which is going on within the partner countries. So the other was, what can Armenia as a partner do? And this is, well, they have to go further and go on and try to get things of these principles into another legal paper. But the second track I would identify is the process within the partner country. The changes within the partner country, the reforms, they have to be decreed and filled with life. That means implemented. We have seen already some reforms which Armenia wanted to, or has taken on and has put it into law, and now, as always, the biggest part is to fill it with life and to implement it. But it's not only the government, but the whole political class who would have to work seriously on these topics, as to develop a more open and democratic society. So the implementation is the real point, and here we want to see a development, and we want to see more openness and more democratic. The parliament should perform more and more as a real supervisor of government to fulfill its tasks as one part of the checks and balances. And government would have to create a really independent judiciary, would have to train the police to be an intervention power on the basis of the democratic laws. There are programs out there already. We know that the OSCE works together with the police here in training. European Union as well is included in these in that task, but it's not enough. Whenever the police is intervening, it has to be on the basis of democratic laws, and there is still, I have the feeling from what we have seen, there is still demand to do more. Government should get more intense in its fight against corruption and oligarchic forms, and should give the small and medium enterprises more air to breathe and to grow. So these would be points to push up, even now, even while the process of becoming or getting another kind of legal form for the principles are underway or might start. The government is in any position to do these things. But it's not only about the government and political institutions, it's civil society itself, which has to develop and grow and to learn. Civil society is a pivotal instrument in that process of modernization of an Eastern Partnership country. It is the people of one society, in the end all of yourselves, who will bring about the positive and legal changes. You will have to get an understanding for your rights and support the meaning of the rule of law. The more a society discusses these issues, the more the understanding will grow. These discussions should always be in a peaceful way. It is an intellectual fight. It is a mindset to become common understanding. You should start at any time. You do not have to wait until anything will be signed with the European Union. Armenia is already a partner to the Eastern Partnership. So the instruments are there, and implementation from both sides, or from all sides, are possible. Politics and civil society. And I have the feeling that you are already going on that track. The civil society is getting more and more alive. We see more and more actions. So I think civil society has the right understanding already that they have to go for their rights and let's say implement by themselves what the law gives them. That would be my idea of pushing up the process, and I thank you for your attention.